What's up everybody, Kinetic here and welcome back to Wolcen Lords of Mayhem. In today's video I want to recap what the game is, where it's been, and more importantly where it's going. I've been a supporter and tester since its Kickstarter phase a couple years back, and I want to share my perspective on what makes Wolcen so special and why any fan of ARPGs should be excited for this game. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to click the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe for more Wolcen content. Let's get started. Wolcen Lords of Mayhem is a new action RPG being developed in France by a studio so enthusiastic about their game, they named themselves after it, Wolcen Studio. Over the years, the small group has grown from just a handful of geeks to a full-blown studio. The game itself features fast-paced action, eye-popping graphics, and some creative new twists on character development. A lot has changed in the couple of years since its Kickstarter beginnings, but one thing remains true. The game holds fantastic potential and shows no signs of shrinking its ambitious goals. Maybe that was two things. It's currently in an alpha stage and set to go into beta around September of 2018. But before we can fully appreciate the growth of both the company and the game, we need to take a look back at where it started. You may remember back a couple of years ago, like I do, when IGN posted this write-up on a game called Umbra. As a fan of ARPGs, it instantly caught my attention with its high-quality graphics, dynamic action gameplay, and cinematic presentation. Solarfall Studio, as it was called at the time, was looking for supporters in its Kickstarter campaign, and it didn't take long before I signed myself up as an Archduke. I was thoroughly impressed, and as both an ARPG fan and YouTuber, I saw in Umbra a game I could really sink my teeth into. But before there was Umbra, there was something else. These guys had already been working for about 2 years prior with this. A hack-and-slash game developed to be a crisis mod, and while lacking definitely in the same graphical Shazam that Umbra or Wolcen has, it's clear that they already figured out a lot about how they wanted the game to feel as a hack-and-slash adventure. Fast forward back to the Future Kickstarter in May 2015, and they blew it out of the water, raising over $400,000 with over 11,000 backers. This is really impressive for a studio that has absolutely no reputation in gaming or anything. Umbra was fully funded and set October 2016 for its release. Some doubted the game could be completed with such a small budget and with so little time, that their ambition was too great to fulfill with so few people working on it. And to a degree, they were right. The due date was past October now, and Umbra was still barely a prototype with not even bare bones of a game, I would say, but more like a puddle of marrow, which is gross. It had developed in some key areas, for sure, but it was clear that the game wasn't making pace with its schedule. Many supporters started to doubt the project, and by this time, early access games and Kickstarters were already starting to grow a bad reputation for just being cash grabs by companies that had no real desire to deliver the promised game. I could tell Umbra was different though. I had played the game, followed their dev blogs, presented its growth in videos on my YouTube channel, and knew that the only real problem was that their manpower and resources didn't match their growing ambition and production goals. Solarfall Studio could have just pumped out the game that would have passed for meeting its Kickstarter presentation, but they were being pressed to make something even better by their now growing fan base. Something that could contend with the greats of the genre. Something that could truly push the boundaries of 21st century action RPGs. In March 2016, both Solarfall and Umbra was dead, and from the ashes rose a new game and studio name, Wolcen Lords of Mayhem. I don't know why I said that in a kind of Deckard Cain voice, but anyway, Wolcen Studio and the game was growing, and in my opinion, I think they wanted to show that while the idea was the same, the ultimate goals for the quality and features of the game had evolved. They wanted to do more than what they promised to do, but also needed additional support in the process. So, what do when you're a tiny studio that needs more money to finish your game? More e-begging! Wolcen was now in early access on Steam, and to be fair, they needed the support and the exposure. Some Kickstarter backers started to make a stink about it, but in my eyes, we weren't really losing anything of real importance. By letting Wolcen go into early access on Steam, the studio could raise more money, hire more people, and develop the game bigger and better than originally intended. And that's exactly what they did. The studio team grew, update after update poured promised and newly developed features into the game, proving that the Steam early access move was the right one. I myself and people in the comments on my videos were thoroughly impressed with some of the really inventive new ways that you could go about character development for your passive skill tree, for your active skills, the whole housing system, and the redesigning of the world itself was also really mind-blowing. The overall quality and production value that was going on here had really been cranked up, you could tell. In March 2017, Wolcen celebrated its 1-year early access anniversary! Woo! Wait, why are we clapping? It's still not out. It's 2018 and it's still in alpha? What in Malmuth's anus is going on? Wolcen Studio has made a lot of progress since going on Steam Early Access, but nothing quite as exciting as this. Not just exciting that it's going into beta, finally, but that it looks almost like a whole new game. It's like a sequel, like Jump of itself, a Super Saiyan version of Umbra, like they skipped from PoE beta to going straight to Fall of Oriath. It's nuts! I mean, look at this! Despite all the delays from Kickstarter 2015, the seemingly sluggish progression to get to this point, it's hard not to be excited for this. Wolcen Studio looks like they've finally figured it out, like they finally nailed their vision for the game, and that vision is looking like a real contender in the genre, a game that could truly push the boundaries of 21st century action RPGs, a game that could carve its own path that inspires others to follow. On behalf of the still patient Kickstarter backers, congratulations Wolcen Studio for making it this far, and I wish you guys the best for the upcoming beta launch later this year. And to all of you that are still on the fence, or maybe fully on board with this game, I hope you'll stick around here on the channel because this is just the beginning. I'll be posting a lot more videos of Wolcen in the near future, and we'll be hammering out content quicker than you can say real money auction house, baby. In the meantime, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Click the like button to support Wolcen Lords of Mayhem here on the channel, and make sure you're subscribed because you don't want to miss the next video. Thanks for watching, this is Kinetic, and I'll see you next time.